Hi, my name is Oracle Anie. I am a spiritual advisor, a psychic, actually psychic medium, but I will talk about that in another video. And I'm here today to record the energy readings that I do for the month, to give people general guidance about the external energies that you can expect for the month at hand, right? And so the way that I do that is that I use a deck of tarot cards. That's nice. Strength card. Be strong. Okay. I use a deck of tarot cards. I use basic numerology, and then I use my psychic vision to kind of put it all together. So that is what this video is about. If you're interested and if it sounds good, stick around. Let's see what comes out. It never comes out the way I think it's gonna come out, right? Even if I know the calculation in my head and I kind of have the card in my head, it never shows up the way I think it will. Okay, so for the numerology, I am going to take the base of the card for the year, and I'm only using the major arcanas. Also, I'm using the Journey into the Hidden Realm by Barbara Moore, because I've already picked it for this year, and so I'm going to continue the year with it. And then when we get into next year, I'll pick another deck and we'll keep going from there. So this will give me an opportunity also to display all my decks. So this is exciting. This is exciting. Okay, this is the first time I'm recording myself doing this. So it's an experiment for sure. All right, so the way we calculate the year is by adding 2022. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6, which gives us the Lovers, right? Here, this way. Gives us the Lovers. And the way I read this card in general is not only is it making a commitment in your relationship, right? I read this card as making a commitment, making a long-term commitment in any of your relationships, whether that's work, personal relationship, family relationship, what else? Your relationship to your environment, to your neighborhood, to your city, whatever that is, any kind of long-term plans is the choice, right here, is the choice that the lovers have to make, right? Because in the original tarot, it's about choice. And now, to figure out what the number for the month is, right? We're focusing on August 2022. So that is 8. August is the 8th month. Plus 2022 is 8 plus 6 equals 14. Now, in basic numerology, you would take the 1, add it to the 4, and you would reduce it down to the 5. Because I'm working with the major arcana, and this is something that I came up with myself, I leave it at 14, which gives us the Temperance card, right? And so these are the 2 cards that I'm going to be using for this reading. The Temperance card is, how do I do it? Okay, here we go. The Temperance card is about being careful with what you put together, right? It is about being conscious and aware about what you're putting together. Okay, if I look off screen is because we have these doves that keep flying around. And my neighbor started feeding them, so now they're not gonna go away. And it started with 2 doves, and now it's 4 and 6, and that's it. I get distracted. It's like, ooh, bird. Okay. The Temperance card is in general like what you, let's see, but again. This. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. Is being careful and conscious about what 2 elements you're going to be putting together. I think of this card as like chemistry, right? You're putting 2 elements, and you want those 2, you want to know what each element is, and you want to know that when you put them together, you're not going to get an explosion or a negative outcome, right? So for that, you need knowledge, you need care, you need to take your time if you don't know exactly what it is that you're putting together, right? You have to do more research. Like, you just have to be on the ball. You have to be on the ball for the month of August. And so I'm gonna go like, okay, in July we had number 13th, which is the Death card. And with the Death card, the way that I saw it was was the death to anything that isn't working in your life, right? It is either like whatever isn't working all of a sudden no longer being in your life, or for other people, it was you taking the initiative to end things that are not working, that weren't working, right? And so that brought those kind of endings, right, bring a lot of sadness and grief that we have to process. And so having the Temperance here only reinforces the fact that this isn't about just like cutting people out or closing chapters and then like rushing into the next thing, right? This August will be more of the energy of like checking things twice, making sure that what you're putting together is going to work when it comes together, right? In the big picture of making long-term choices, right? Making long-term choices, going into long-term commitments, whatever area that may be. What else am I seeing here? So now I'm just going to look at the cards and see what do I get. In the Temperance card, I am noticing the dragonflies. Here. Right, so we got the dragonflies around. Now, to me, dragonflies are a magical type of spirit animal that reminds me that whatever I have wished for is possible. And in this card, I see it as, you know, the little reminders. Anything that flies around can be seen as a thought, just like a passing thought. And for me to see the dragonflies here around the Temperance card is the reminder that your wish is coming true, your wish is possible. And in going back to July, the what is it? I lost my words, but the ideas are here. In July, it was about overcoming self-doubt, right? And about having faith that the things that were ending were for your own good, or the things that you chose to end were for your own good, right? So in that card, I should look it up. Okay. In that card, we had the ravens flying around the figure for the death card. And they are kind of like shooing it away. And the way that I saw that was as your mind being protected from self-doubt. Right? Like I'm looking for the card so I can show you. Yeah. Okay. So this was the death card for July, right? And in that, I kind of saw the figure as self-doubt and the ravens as the protectors, and making sure that you don't doubt yourself in the decisions that you're making or in the thoughts that you're having about moving on or about starting a new story, having a rebirth, right? Which is the death always comes with a rebirth. And so those two things happen simultaneously. And it's the idea that, at any point at any time in the world, somebody is dying and somebody is being born at the same time. So that's the energy of the death card. Really, it's the birth and rebirth happening at the same time. Okay, so the dragonflies, going back to the dragonflies, they're a reminder that your dreams are possible. The things that the magical thoughts that you're having are going to be true. It is just about taking your time to make sure that the things that you're combining make sense. That's what it is. When the temperance comes out in reverse, the way I read that is somebody who's trying to rush through the process and that having bad consequences, right? Okay, so I am going to look for the number 5 card here, just to give me an extra sense of the information. Oh, yes. Okay. The Hierophant. I should have known that. Wait, here. The Hierophant. Okay. Right? Here? Yes. Okay. So speaking about long-term commitments, when I see the Lovers and I see the Hierophant, the first thing I think about is weddings. So some of you could be getting married in August, and if that is so, congratulations. Your wedding is going to be just fine. Make sure you're double checking things. This actually is making me think about like the seating charts and like what family members are sitting next to what family, like make sure that you're paying attention to that. Right, so you're putting those two elements together. Like, what is it going to create? Is it going to be a good result, or is it going to be a kind of mix up, right? Okay. Ooh, so hot. All right. Okay. All right. The Hierophant is also talks about traditions, following the rules, right? And being a mentor, right? Okay. So when it comes to August, we're going to look at these two cards together. Actually, they go like this. No, like this. Yeah. Yeah. 14 and 5. Alrighty. So I'm going to put them like these. Okay. Now, the way that this manifests for everybody is going to be individual. So, like, again, I'm only reading this as the external energy that is influencing each one of us, right? The way we process that energy and the way we respond to that energy is going to be unique to every one of you. It's going to be unique in the way in where it shows up. And remember that you have free will in how you respond to this energy, right? And also remember that other people have free will in how they respond to the energy. So you also have to pay attention to that. Okay. So the other message that I'm getting here is that there are people who are thinking about marriage in a new way, right? Because we just had the Death card, and now in August we have the Temperance. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but I also feel like it's necessary so that you know exactly what I'm referencing. So I am getting the message that there are going to be people who are going to be thinking about marriage in a different way, maybe in a beneficial way, and something that they haven't thought about before. Maybe they were non-committal before, right? And now they're they're thinking into, maybe it's not that bad of an idea. Maybe the way I've been looking at it, maybe the way I saw it growing up was not the best example. And I'm not saying, it's kind of like changing gears or changing lenses and seeing things from a different perspective. So for anybody who is dealing with somebody with commitment issues, I'm not telling you that they're going to propose in August. They're not. I don't think you should expect that because of the Temperance card. But I am going to say that they are challenging the way, or they're challenging their thoughts and their emotions on how they feel and how they think about marriage, right? So that's just another message that I'm getting. Let's see. What else is happening here? When it comes to mentorship and becoming a mentor, I'm actually going to reference June, and June was about, well, the guidance for June was about getting to know your intentions of why you do what you do, right? And kind of reflecting upon, like, why am I choosing these people? Why am I choosing to do this every day? Like, what's really behind all of my choices, right? And then like July was the death card, and that's just kind of like, whoa. So when it comes to mentorship, I do want to say that you have that base from June saying, you know, why is it that you want to become a mentor? Is it because you want to have followers, or is it because you have information that will help other people, right? And like, you should be very clear about that, because when you give information to others, you want to make sure that you're not going to cause an explosion in their life. You want to make sure that when you're giving information, that you're being responsible about the type of information you're going to give. And I can see August learning, I can see August being a month of learning how to play within the rules, play within some confines, as we are moving into a new story, as we're moving into this rebirth that the death card brought us, right? And so again, I'm getting just like, I don't like to tell people like, oh, be careful, right? But that is the word that is coming up for me. And you can say careful, you can say aware, you can say, look at everything. Excuse me. But yeah, like in my vision, it's just like careful, 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 careful. Okay? So actually, let's pull some cards to see what this careful is about. All right, so what is it that I'm being careful about? The Seven of Swords. Careful about... Interesting. This is very interesting. Because the Seven of Swords in this deck, look at him. He's like holding the sword and he's looking up. But he's not looking up at the moon. He's looking up at the stars. And I think this is the first time I see the Seven of Swords in this deck, too. So I don't want to really bring the Rider-Waite meaning into it. The way I'm seeing this card, it's like he knows that he has a grip on the truth, right? And he may not be revealing it to everybody, but he knows it, and he's looking up at the stars, and he knows the universe knows it. And so it's almost about like being on the same page about what is this information, what is this truth. With the moon, it's intuition, dreams, maybe fears. And I actually do want to look through the book because, let's see, you never know, right? How they intended this. Okay. The future is written in the stars. He searches the heavens as earnestly as he searches his heart, right? So that is that truth that you share with the universe. Like, you know it, the universe sees you acknowledging it. So So this card is about living up to one's ideals and about how it's not always easy, especially when those ideals are controversial. Sometimes those around us don't agree with our decisions or values. Sometimes they disagree because we're making a mistake. When you are facing such a moment, don't focus on what others think. Don't try to make a decision based on what you think will happen. In this moment, when your ideals, what you hold dear, take precedence, the best advice is to first make sure you are clear about your beliefs. What was I just talking about? It was the basis from June about knowing what your intentions are, right? Why you're doing what you're doing. And if you're choosing a long-term partner, or if you're choosing a new career or a new phase of your career, why is it that you're choosing it? You know? The best advice is to first make sure you're clear about your beliefs. Check your heart and make sure your intentions are pure. If you sincerely ask for guidance, the divine usually provides a sign letting you know you're right on track. That is the moon, the intuition, the stars giving you information, right? If you take a moment to actually look within and look above. Once that is settled, move forward with confidence, right? So again, that comes down to the Temperance card and about knowing and taking the time to know before you mix. Yeah. Okay. So let's see, any messages regarding long-term relationships for August? Let's do that. Actually, no, let's leave it here. It's already long enough. Okay. Any last messages? So the careful was about just being careful with the Temperance card, right? Knowing your intentions. So I said that. Yeah, look, even the way that the Hierophant is like talking to this guy. Wait, I can't see the screen, but I also can't see the card. Okay, right? He's like, oh, here. He's like, calm down, son. Make sure that everything, that it's gonna be okay, but like you have to make sure that you're getting that right. You know, like, okay. Well, most people. I'm sorry. I love doing this interactions with the characters and the cards. So, yeah. I feel like that's the only message that I have for you. I hope this makes sense. I will be further developing it to post on my blog, and like I said, you can also check me out on Instagram, where I just I break this down into little pieces and then share the little pieces along the month as well. Okay, so that's it. This has been Oracle Anie, and I hope to talk to you soon. Okay, bye.